In June 1859, an American farmer named Lyman Cutler shot a British-owned pig on San Juan Island because it kept rooting through his potato patch. What began as a mundane property dispute escalates rapidly into a full-blown international standoff. Both the United States and Britain, already disputing control over the island, deploy troops in response. The only casualty of the entire affair was that single unlucky pig. Within weeks, nearly 500 American soldiers face off against 3 British warships and over 2,000 British troops, all because of a dead pig. The commanders on both sides, aware of how absurd the conflict is, refuse to fire the first shot. Tensions simmer until higher authorities intervene and a joint military occupation is agreed upon. Eventually, in 1872, arbitration by the German emperor awards the island to the United States, ending the war that started with Bacon. In October 1925, a Greek soldier chases his runaway dog across the border into Bulgaria and is shot dead by Bulgarian guards. What begins as a personal misfortune quickly turns into a military escalation. The Greek government accuses Bulgaria of an unprovoked act of aggression and mobilizes troops toward the town of Petric. A single step across a line and Europe teeters on the edge of war. Greek forces invade Bulgarian territory, occupy several villages, and demand an official apology within 48 hours. In response, Bulgaria appeals to the League of Nations, urging diplomatic resolution. The League intervenes, condemns the Greek incursion, and forces Athens to withdraw and pay reparations. 50 people die, all because of a soldier chasing his dog. In 1832, a French pastry chef living in Mexico City claims that Mexican officers looted and destroyed his shop during civil unrest. When his demand for compensation is ignored, France intervenes, but not with lawyers or diplomats. Instead, in 1838, King Louis Philippe orders the French Navy to blockade the port of Veracruz and bombard the fortress of San Juan de Ulua. The cost of a single bakery sparks the first French military action in Latin America. The conflict lasts for several months, killing over 250 people and crippling Mexico's coastal trade. Under pressure and unable to repel French forces, Mexico agrees to pay 600,000 pesos in damages. France withdraws, having proven its willingness to defend the honor of its citizens, no matter how petty the cause. A pastry chef's grievance, absurd as it seems, reshapes the balance of power between Europe and the Americas. In 1325, a soldier from the city of Modena steals an ordinary wooden bucket from a public well in Bologna and rides home with it in triumph. What should have been a trivial prank instead ignites one of the most brutal feuds in medieval Italy. Bologna, humiliated and enraged, summons a staggering force of 32,000 men to punish Modena for the insult. A wooden pail becomes the symbol of honor and war. Modena, far smaller but militarily sharper, responds with only 7,000 elite troops and chooses the battlefield near Zappolino. Despite the odds, Modena routs the Bolognese forces, leaving over 2,000 men dead in a single day. The infamous bucket is taken back in victory and remarkably still rests in Modena's town hall as a prized trophy. A petty theft turned into bloodshed, all for a piece of hollowed-out oak. In January 532, a chariot racing dispute between 2 fanatical factions, the Blues and the Greens, erupts into the deadliest riot in Byzantine history. The crowds initially demand the release of imprisoned members from both sides after a violent brawl. Emperor Justinian refuses clemency, expecting the unrest to fade. Instead, Constantinople descends into chaos. For 5 days, mobs torch government buildings, free prisoners, and declare a new emperor, all in the name of vengeance and team loyalty. Justinian, on the verge of fleeing, listens to his wife Theodora and orders a brutal counterattack. Imperial troops flood the hippodrome and massacre an estimated 30,000 people in a single day. A sports rivalry twisted by politics and rage nearly topples an empire. History remembers the victors, but it also remembers the absurd. From a runaway dog to a wooden bucket, these wars remind us how fragile reason can be in the face of pride. Thousands died not because of strategy or survival, but because no one wanted to back down first. And in a world still full of flags, egos, and fragile alliances, we have to ask, could it happen again? Let us know what you think. And if you enjoyed the ride through the ridiculous, consider subscribing.